Welcome back to Career Post. Today we will be seeing what is noting and drafting, how is it useful in government offices for a dealing assistant or an officer who is dealing with it. Today, especially in this video, you will be knowing about the English noting, drafting knowledge skills, and there may be so many doubts regarding these things, such as what ink to be used by the staff or officers in noting, is the ink different for drafting, whether initial is enough by the dealing assistant or officer in a noting, or a full signature is required, and the signature of the dealing assistant to be on the left or right of the note sheet, signature of the officer to be on the left or right of the note sheet, how much margin to be given on a note sheet, is it one side, two sides, or four sides, note sheet should be typed on one side or both sides. If an officer merely appends the signature, does it mean the line of action proposed is agreed to? When a file becomes bulky, that is say 100 to 150 pages, the second volume is opened, how the serial number of the notes portion or correspondence portion is given, whether the page number continues for the notes portion or correspondence portion, or a new serial will be taken up in the second volume. So many such questions are there in the mind of the new employee who joined in a government office. These all questions will be answered in the video. Stay tuned till the end to know more about noting and drafting. And this video will be particularly useful for those who are appearing for examinations of inspector posts or PS Group B or a BARC UDC or LDC, or for that matter any examination in which noting and drafting finds place. And it is also helpful for those who are working in government offices. A disclaimer is there. This training material is for the use in training of the officials. It should not be referred as guidelines of the government. In case of any variance in this training material, the government guidelines or rules or laws shall prevail. This is only purely for education purpose. Now let us see what is noting and drafting. In this video you will find noting and drafting and office procedure, English noting and drafting knowledge and skills, official noting and drafting with samples and examples, noting and drafting in central government offices, how is it made, noting and drafting for LDC exam, BARC, UDC, IPO and PS Group B and all other examinations, what are the do's and do nots in drafting and noting, best noting and drafting tips and lots more. So stay tuned till the end to know more in depth about the noting and drafting. So basically let us start with what is file. In large government offices, either it is central government or state government, where important decisions are to be taken, a note is prepared, and it must be remembered that in these offices the dealing hand or a dealing assistant prepares the note and he is responsible for the correctness of the facts, statistics and orders he cites therein. He must therefore be very sure of his facts and rule position. We all know that government offices, the dealing assistant and the officers may change either due to transfer or retirement or death, whatever it is. And it should be absolutely impossible to ascertain as to why such an order has been issued in the back date and what are all the factors that were considered by arriving at the decision. So this is very imperative, important for future reference. So that is why noting and drafting are such important. And you know that every office, whether it is central government or state government, it deals with files, and a file is a collection of papers on a specific subject assigned a number and consisting of one or more of the following parts. So the file, you all know, it will have two different parts in particularly, that is notes portion. This is the portion in which the remarks are recorded on the case to facilitate its examination and decision. So this is the part where a dealing assistant will take up the case and write the details of the case and put up to the immediate superior, and wherein he will check for the details, facts, and then again it will be submitted to the competent authority to take a decision on that file. So this is basically the file movement in a government office. And the second part is the correspondence portion, that is the portion of the file containing the receipts. That means any document that is received or a letter that is received from its lower formations or it is from the higher formations. That means a bigger office or a lower office, naturally there will be a correspondence, and those are received in the office, they are called receipts. And the office copies of communications issued from the file. That means whenever a document is received, it will be put up to the officer concerned along with the note with the details, ruling position, etc. in the file, and orders will be issued by the competent authority, and those orders also will be in the part of this correspondence portion. That means every copy that is received in the office, that will be part of the correspondence portion. Orders issued on that receipts or the documents or letters will be also part of the correspondence portion. So the file includes the self-contained interdepartmental notes, but excluding those recorded on the notes portion of the file. So correspondence portion is different and notes portion is different. Excluding the notes portion, it is called correspondence portion. And there will also be appendices to the notes or appendices to the correspondence. So these are basically the 3 to 4 parts. Appendix to notes is one part and appendices to the correspondence is one part. Generally, why appendices are noted is to facilitate to avoid the repetition of the summary of the facts. Appendices are attached, or anything that is in detail will be attached as appendices. And you will also find a PUC. PUC is basically paper under consideration or proposal under consideration. What is a PUC means? A receipt pertaining to a case, the consideration of which is the subject matter of the case. That means the paper based on which you are putting a note will be taken as paper under consideration. That means any receipt that you have received and you have put up in the file along with the notings, that paper will be treated as paper under consideration, and this PUC will be placed in the correspondence portion, and a note will be prepared accordingly and put up to the officer concerned for taking a decision. And there will also be a fresh receipt, that is FR. Any subsequent receipt on a case which brings in additional information is called fresh receipt. Say for example, if there is a leave application received from a lower formation, and that is called PUC. If leave orders are to be issued, or basically permission is to be granted, then it becomes PUC. And whenever there is a fresh receipt or an extension of leave application or a curtailment of leave application, that will be a second one in the same case file. That will be the fresh receipt. That is called the subsequent receipt on the case which brings in additional information about the case. I have mentioned leave as a small example to understand, to appreciate the understanding. Now let us see what is noting. Noting is a process of preparing the brief essence of a proposal or a paper under consideration, that is PUC, with correct facts, statistics and ruling position, etc. in the file to make an important final decision by a government officer on the file. Basically, this is the noting. Means noting is a process of preparing the brief essence based on the paper received or paper under consideration. As we have seen earlier, based on the paper of consideration, dealing assistant will have to accumulate the correct facts, statistics and ruling position. These things should be briefed in the file, and this will enable the officer to make a decision on the file. The note is submitted by the dealing official to the intermediary officers between him and the officer competent to decide the case. Such officer will also record their views, adducing the reasons. So there will be intermediary supervisors or section officers will also be there between the Babu, that means dealing assistant, and the officer. He will also record his views or reasons in the noting, and then he marks it to the next officer. Generally, marking means if a file is dealt in the staff branch, suppose the OA will be marking it to the ASP concerned. He will write ASP, and the ASP will in turn note down his findings and mark it to the superintendent. Then it will be submitted to his higher authorities for final orders. So the intermediary section officer or any other intermediary officer, he will be marking it to the higher authorities for taking final orders. Thus, once the orders are given, they will be executed by way of making a rough draft. What is draft? We will see. Say suppose the leave is permitted and the leave permission letter will be issued from the office. I am telling the basic thing so that you can understand very well. Whenever the application for which 10 things are not possible, a note will be put up. Leave and all these cases which are routine, they will also be put up, but there will be a standard formats for noting and drafting. They will be using it. Here let us see what is drafting. Drafting is a rough copy of a document or an initial attempt of preparing a document that can be corrected, improved or changed before it is finally approved by the officer concerned. So you have received one leave application, that is called PUC. Dealing assistant has put up in the file in the correspondence portion. that PUC has been placed in the correspondence portion and the notes portion has been taken now, and he has prepared a note whether this leave he is eligible for this leave, quoting the rules. This is for the first instance he is using the leave, if he is newly joined. All these things will be facts will be recorded in the file in the notings, and it will be put up to the next officer. So once the leave is approved, that will be communicated to the lower formations or the one who has applied the leave. For example, here for that communication to go to the official concerned, there will be a drafting. The drafting is a rough copy of document. So it is basically a rough thing that can be improved or corrected or changed before it is finally approved. The crucial function of English noting and drafting is to initiate and complete the process of disposal of a case in a logical manner, either supported by a rule or a precedent if no rule exists specifically. What is the crucial function is of a noting and drafting is the complete process of disposal of a case will be made in a logical manner, either supported by rule. When there is no rule or rule doesn't exist, a precedent will be quoted. Precedent means that which had happened earlier in the earlier occasions. What decision has been taken at that time, those things will be brought into the file. And what if a similar decision is taken now, will there be any financial implications, that will also be examined and put up in the noting. What is the difference between noting and drafting? We will see what is the difference between noting and drafting. Noting is an internal process of an office and thus not so open to outside scrutiny. So this noting will not be shown to any other outside office or to any other person except for the office concerned. So there will not be outside scrutiny normally. But a drafting means it is issued in generally a document conveying to others. That means it is the document. Whenever the fair copy is made, then it becomes final. The decision will be documented and it will be issued as orders. So it will be conveyed to the other offices. It can be seen by the other people also. Drafting can be seen, noting cannot be seen by the other people except for the office concerned. Now let us see what is note sheet, what is the dimensions, what are the size, what font you use. All these things will be seen now. Now you are visualizing a basic note sheet sample here. Apart from those 6 bullet points and a pen, the remaining thing is it is basically a note sheet and it will be in pale green color as you are seeing now. What is the legitimate size of the note sheet? First question will be, what is the legitimate size of a note sheet? The size will be Foldscape size of 8.5 into 13.5 inches, that is 216 into 343 mm. That is the standard size of a note sheet. It is a bit bigger than the A4 size, and this will be used in this pale green color which you are seeing right now. What is the font size that you have to use for typing the note sheet? That is, font size should be 12 and the color is pale green as I have said earlier. What is the font type that is generally used for note sheet? It is Times New Roman. What alignment should be there for while typing the note sheet? It should be justified and there should be space between the lines. Why should there be a space between the lines? If at all the officer wants to add something, he can add in between those space. What will be the margin? Margin will be 1 inch margin on all sides, on all the 4 sides. As you can see here, 1 inch margin, here 1 inch margin, 1 inch and 1 inch. So totally the margin will be on all sides. Why your margin is on all sides? A small margin of about 1 inch will be left on all sides, left, right, top and bottom of each page of note sheet to ensure better preservation of notes recorded on the files, as at times the paper gets torn from the edges, making reading of the document difficult. However, the notes should be typed or written on both sides of the note sheet as per the instructions of Department of Expenditure. To reduce the expenditure, the note sheet should be typed on the both sides of the paper. Normally, the notes and orders will normally be recorded on the note sheets in the notes portion of the file and will be serially numbered. Generally, a black or blue pen will be used by all categories of staff and officers, and only officer of level of Joint Secretary of Government of India and above will use green or red in rare cases. That means note sheet should always be signed in blue or black, all category of staff including officers. And as I mentioned, only an officer of the level of Joint Secretary of Government of India may use green or red in rare cases. So this is the rule position. And one more thing is that the dealing hand will append his full signature with the date on the left below his note, and an officer will append his full signature on the right hand side of the note with the name and designation and date. Now let us see what will be the first page of a note sheet. Generally 4 or 5 sheets will be placed as soon as you start a file to allow the officer to write at length if it is required so. So the first page of the note sheet, on the top of the first page of the note portion in each volume of the file number will be given, the name of the ministry and department, name of the branch or section, subject of the file and classification of the file will be mentioned. A similar procedure will be followed on file cover also. See here, if you can see, for example, file number so and so, Government of India, Ministry of Communication, Department of Posts, SPG section, subject, whatever subject is there that you have to mention it here. Classification of file also you can mention it here. This will be the first page of the note sheet. Then the second page will start with the actual notes or PUC or whatever it is. Why this first page of the note sheet should have all these information? Because if a notes portion of the file is misplaced, it can be easily traced based on the information of the first page of the note sheet. That will clearly say which section it belongs to. Now let us see what is the structure of noting in a government offices. First you should write the note number, that is 1 by n, 2 by n, 3 by n and so on. Generally 1 by n will be starting with the, as you have seen earlier, with the office name, all these entries will be there, subject and all. And the 2n will start with the actual thing. Note number you have to make. Then the file number will be there. For every file there will be a custom file number will be given. For example, staff oblique some B1 oblique or B2 oblique something will be given depending on the different departments. That number should be noted and the date which should also be noted. These are the first things to be noted in a file. Then the subject, you have to mention the subject, and the PUC will be placed in the correspondence portion. You have to mention the subject based on the paper under consideration. What is the subject you have to note down, and then you have to give a previous reference if any. Subject is there, now reference is there. What is the reference? If any previous correspondence is made in this case, in this particular case, or in regarding the paper under consideration, that reference also needs to be quoted if any. Then brief of the note. Then you have to develop the note based on the facts adduced from the paper under consideration or relating to the matter. Detailed subject matter with rules should be quoted. And then the authorities or orders on the subject, if any already were there, those things should be noted. That means, for example, if a case for construction of a building has come for some 3 crores, who is the competent authority for sanctioning such amount? Those things should be mentioned. That means who is the competent authority? What are the orders on the subject previously? Those things should be mentioned. Whether the officer, before sending to the officer, whether any consultation with the internal finance is required, those things should be written in the note. Then the proposal should be written in detail. Then draft for approval, DFA, will be written, and the full signature of the initiator. Initiator here will be the dealing hand or dealing assistant. With the date and the designation of the officer to the note is marked. So while marking, you have to mark the ASP or SP or whatever it is. The next officer designation will be marked. Full signature should be made by the dealing assistant, and even the officer who is competent to approve also has to make the signature in full in noting. Then let us see some noting guidelines and tips. Noting should always be in third person, and you should always observe brevity. That means it should be to the point. It should not be lengthy so as to make it clumsy, and the note should be brief and to the point. Lengthy note is to be avoided, and you have to state the subject at the top, and you have to state briefly what is sought in the case. And better paragraphs are in short subtitles with numbering. So each paragraph should be, the total note, body of the note should be in paragraphs, and each paragraph, if possible, there should be a short subtitle along with the number, and each paragraph should be with numbering so as to identify in future or to have a better referencing in future. And the note connected with any subject will run continuously from inception till its disposal. Here I would like to give you few more technological tips. Often there will be spelling mistakes, we know. There is one Chrome extension called Grammarly, where you can go to the Chrome web store and make it available in your system as Chrome extension. That will help you to correct your spelling mistakes and grammar. And you all know there is another aspect that you can make a sticky notes to your system for better referencing or to-do list. And you can also scan and rename with the dispatch date all the files that you are moving to the next level. That will help you to retrieve whenever an officer asks for the file and it is under submission to the next level. And you can also use Dropbox, wherein your all the files can be automatically placed in the Dropbox and you can retrieve whenever it is required. Even though your computer crashes, this will help you to retrieve the data, even work from home also using this data. The next one is, while noting, the speech should be indirect speech and the body of the note should contain the facts, figures, law, rules, procedures and precedents. All these things should be covered in the body of the note. Of course, I will give you examples in this video itself, how to write the note, draft and letters. Please stay till the end. Now this tense, past tense is generally used, past perfect or whatever tense that is used should be the same tense throughout the noting. And the background of the case should be given, and give the background of the case first. That means it should contain what, when, where, why, how the case has started or where it has gone, when it happened, incident happened. All these things can be given as a background of the case, covering all these WH questions. The next one is, the voice should be passive voice. It should not be active voice, it should be passive voice. You never use I or we in the notings. It should be noted in the passive voice. It is requested, it is said. These things will be, you will find in the noting. Active voice will be found in the DO letter. You check up this video on the DO letter in the I button there. Now you have to see that the precis of the PUC, that is paper under consideration or proposal under consideration, should not be repeated verbatim. So the precise writing is also important. You should learn how to make the paper under consideration to 1/3. That is, it should be less than 1/3. Precise of make it 1/3 content of the current paper under consideration, so that you have to avoid complete reproduction of the PUC. Now let us see what are the noting skills that you should be equipped with and what role you have to consider while building a note. First, you have to check up the facts based on the PUC or the files already available with you or such instances already that has happened. Check up the facts with reference to PUC, rulings and previous files. And the supervisory role is also there. The one who supervises or the intermediate level officer will have to cross-check the facts that are put up to him by the dealing assistant. Then supply the missing facts. Missing facts to be mentioned based on the previous file or instances or rulings, whatever it is. Then refer the rule or authority. Rules or authority who is competent authority to decide the case and under what rule you have to mention in the notings. And then you have to quote the rulings or precedents. So here you have to understand that if any rule or order or instruction is to be quoted in support of noting, a copy of the same will be placed on the file and attention to it will be drawn in the note. Just a mere reproduction of relevant provisions in the noting should be avoided. And you have to, normally the notes and orders thereon will normally be recorded in the note sheets. Whenever when the rule is not clear, check up for the precedent. That means what had happened in the past. Any incidents, such incidents have happened in the past. What decision was taken previously in such cases. Those things should be brought into the notings. And you have to prepare a brief running summary of the case in logical sequence stating how it has arisen and what views have been expressed and by whom. These things you have to see. Suggest or assess the alternatives. You may have to suggest the alternative for the existing thing. What are the different alternatives available? 1, 2, 3, 4 options are available to deal with the case. And what are the implications? You have to assess the implications or complications if you go ahead with the proposed alternatives. Those things also should be brought into the file. And you may have to, if there are other options, suggest such options with your views thereon. And give an indication of the financial repercussions and their likelihood of recurrence or savings if any. What is the best solution and why? Those things have to be brought into the noting. Will it become a precedent if it is allowed? That also should be thought of. And if the rule is silent on any aspect. So if a rule is silent on any aspect, then you will generally refer to the precedent or previous case if any such case has come and what was the decision taken. The decision taken at that time may be correct for that period. Now that may not be suitable, that may be suitable or may not be suitable based on the new facts or new circumstances. So you have to analyze those things and put up in the notings and comment on the correctness of the facts, pointing out the misstatements and wanting information. However, if an apparent errors or misstatements in case have to be pointed out, or if any opinion is expressed therein has to be criticized, care should be taken to coach the observations in courteous and temperate language free from the personal remarks. There are 4 A's of noting. One is adopt. That means what you have to adopt is clarity, consistency and uniformity. Your note should be very clear and it should be consistent. That means it should have a flow and it should have the uniformity. And you have to identify the sender. While preparing the draft, you may have to identify the sender and use courteous and temperate language free from personal remarks. Never use any language that is unwarranted in the noting. Even if you have to criticize it also, that should be taken care of. Then avoid verbatim reproduction of extracts from or paraphrasing of the PUC. Suppose in the PUC some 5 or 6 paras were given. You may have to just note down the summary of the entire 6 or 5 paras in the PUC, but not exact reproduction or even 1 or 2 paras. You need not extract them also. Just you may have to refer to the para number 2 of the PUC. Like that you can refer in the noting. That's all. You need not type it again. And one more adoption is that you have to adopt the right form in drafting. Whenever you use whether it should be letter, whether it should be DO letter, whether it should be office memorandum, that should be checked first. Then visualize the response. When you are preparing the note or draft, you should visualize the response from the other side also. Then only you will be able to build a note or draft. Avoid redundancy, verbosity, circumlocution and repetition. While you prepare noting or drafting, you should not use any redundant words or you should not be verbose. You should be to the point and you should not divert the actual point that is required. And repetition of words or sentences or any fact need not be made. You should avoid those things. So you should adopt 2 points and you should avoid 2 things. Now let us see the noting structure. Problem solving cases. Official noting and drafting in English. Sometimes you may have to face these type of notings also. There will be some problem solving cases. There will be a problem that will come in the documentation. Either it may be a public grievance or any other staff matter. Anything can be there and a problem will occur and you have to solve the problem and you have to adduce the facts. Let us see what you have to do in such cases. You have to identify what is the problem and state the problem. You have to state it and how has it arisen. You have to give the reason how it has happened and what are the critical factors, and any additional information may be added to the note. The second one is what is the rule or policy or precedent. That thing should be mentioned, and rules or precedent cues having a bearing on the issue be put up. Those rules or precedents that have occurred already which will be having bearing on the issue, then those things should be put up. And what are the possible solutions? You have to identify alternative solutions, as I have said earlier. What is the best solution and why? Those things should be narrated, and suggest a course of action. And you may have to suggest the course of action for the officer to take a decision, and it may be the course of action sometimes may be more than one also, and the officer, based on the facts and rules and precedents that you have quoted in the noting, he may take a decision which is more viable and suitable. And what will be the consequences of the proposed solution? Whenever you propose a solution or alternative solutions, you may have to bring in the consequences. What will be the consequences of the proposed solution also in the noting? financial other implications, repercussions, and the modality of implementing the decision and how will you implement. Those things should be brought into the noting. And the authority competent to take the decision should also be mentioned. Sometimes the authority to take a decision will not be in your office. That will be in the next level office also. So you have to mention the competent authority as per rules on the subject, and you have to mention the same in the noting so as to take the proper decision, or so as to make the officer mark to the next level or corresponding make a correspondence with the next level officer. Let us see the noting methodology. First one is the providing of summary. As I have said earlier, a running brief summary has to be made in logical sequence, stating how it has arisen and what views have been expressed and by whom. And you should also keep in mind that sufficient space should be left for the margin and between the successive lines in the draft for incorporating changes, additions, interpolation of the words, etc. by the next officer concerned. The officer may also add few things in the draft or note. Quote or refer rules, the number and date of orders, notifications, resolutions, and in case of acts, rules and regulations, their brief title together with the number of relevant section, rule, paragraph or class referred will be quoted in the body of notes. Alphabetical slips used will be indicated in the margin. So all these things should be quoted in the notings. That means the number and date of orders of notifications or resolutions or case of acts or rules or regulations or brief titles together with the numbers. You should quote the rule number in full and with the date that you may have to quote. And whenever you refer something about a ruling and you have placed that copy in the correspondence place or as an appendix, then you have to quote the rule number completely with the date. Mere mentioning that this rule is available at that place is not sufficient. You have to quote the rule number and then you have to say that this is placed at so and so place. And the alphabetical slips will be used indicating in the margin. And the next one is reference slips. Reference slips are the small slips are nowadays they are using the sticky notes, small sticky notes. The reference slips will be spread over the entire width of the file so that every slips are visible easily. So sometimes there will be more than one reference slip. In such a case, you should not place one behind the other. Then the reference slip cannot be seen by the officer. How they should be placed? They should be spread over the entire width of the file so that every slip can be seen at a stretch by the officer concerned and he can refer directly, go to that place. The next point is the DFA, that is draft for approval. A slip bearing the words draft for approval should be attached to the draft. Whenever you prepare a draft, that draft should be attached with a slip or sticky note, whatever it is, and DFA should be on the reference slip. Then that draft should be put up on the file. The drafts as well as the draft slip will be numbered as DFA 1, DFA 2, DFA 3 and so on if there are number of drafts. Suppose there are number of drafts consecutively, then you have to put up DFA 1, 2 and 3 respectively. Divide into paragraphs. As already said, serially numbered paragraphs of easy size. That what is the easy size? It should be 10 lines each, less than 10 lines each. And paragraphs may preferably have brief titles also. Each one should have a subtitle. In detail we will be seeing in the ensuing slides. Now let us see what is referencing in noting and drafting. If a note refers to correspondence in file, the page number has to be mentioned followed by -C. For example, P means page 32C. That means what we are referring in the note is at the 32 page of the correspondence. So here 32 refers to the page number of the file in the correspondence portion and hence C refers to correspondence. That means whenever you say 32C means the officer can go, if you attach a slip there, a reference slip like this 32C at that point, then he can straight away see what it is mentioned there. And if one has to refer to earlier page of the note, suppose we have seen about the correspondence, now we are going to see about the note. It will be mentioned as, for example, 10N. 10 is the page number of the notes portion and N refers to the note. That means 10N means 10 is the page number of the notes portion, N is the note. So as per the orders of the competent authority at 10N, that means the officer will straight away see what it is written, what is the order that he has given in the note sheet at 10N. Now let us see with an example how to write noting and drafting in English. Please listen carefully here. First of all, we have to write the note number, that is here I have mentioned it as 1N. Naturally it should be 2N because as I have said it is 1N should be with the section name and all subject, those things will be written. For example, I have given here as 1N, and the file number. The file number B1/4/10/ some date was given there. That will be your file number. As I have told in the structure, first you have to write the note number, that is 1N, then the file number, this is the file number. And if you can see that note structure again, the subject you have to mention, then reference you have to mention, and you have to start the body of the noting, and this is regarding, that means what is sought in the case you have to write. This is regarding the approval of your leave, so and so. And you have to write the background of the case. The background of the case should be indicated there. Evidence and conclusion should be reached here. Then you have to appreciate the facts of the case. You have to note down the facts of the case. Brief running summary in a logical sequence in courteous language should be mentioned thereafter. Then reason for the PUC. What is the reason for that paper under consideration? Why he is requesting to this office? That should be mentioned there. Then ruling position or precedent should be mentioned. Place a copy of ruling in the file and draw attention to it. Avoid reproduction of ruling. See here, I have mentioned A, marking this para 5, and I have marked A. That means you need not write the full para. Suppose there is a ruling file. In that ruling file you have a para 6 with some 20 lines, and you wish to draw the attention of the officer to that para. Then you need not reproduce the entire 10 lines or 6 lines in that ruling. Just mark there in that ruling file as A like this, and you can tell that in so and so page 6C, A of your kind attention is drawn for rule relating to this case is noted at A in the para 6 of 8C. Like that you can mention. Course of action. You have to tell the course of action. Suggest alternate options, financial repercussions, likelihood of recurrence. Say suppose if you suggest a course of action for which there is no ruling as such, it is the first instance that had happened. You have, or it is the second instance that have had happened and there is no ruling as such. You have quoted a precedent. Then you have to understand that there is a likelihood of recurrence of such instances in future also, and you may not be able to allow the same in the future instances also. Those things also should be kept in mind, and any savings will be there, that also should be mentioned. Weigh the arguments. You will be for or against the PUC. You have to weigh the arguments and recommend the course of action. Finally, what you will say, a draft for approval of the forwarding letter is placed at 2C. Then you will write that draft for approval and submitted for kind perusal and orders please. Then the dealing assistant will sign in full with dated and designation, and it will be marked to the supervisor. Then the supervisor will check all the facts, all the files, all the noting position, ruling position, and then he will observe all the facts. He will write whatever his deductions are. Then it will be marked to the officer concerned who is competent to dispose the case, and the officer will be studying these notes and will be referring to the relevant rules, and he will take a suitable decision and that order will be given. If the course of action suggested by the dealing assistant and the supervisor is okay, he will just merely append a signature. He need not write anything. If signs it simply, that means he has agreed to the course of action. If he doesn't agree, he will be making a query on any particular aspect and return the file to the supervisor or dealing assistant as the case may be. So this is basically how you will draft, you will frame a note in an office. Now let us see one practical question given in the inspector post examination in 2019 on drafting and noting. What is the question given? Prepare a note for seeking orders of the competent authority for relaxation of cooling off period for forwarding the application of official for deputation post. You have to understand the question first. We are asked to prepare the note, that is understood. So noting, you have to prepare the note. For what you have to prepare a note? For seeking the orders of the competent authority. That is natural. What is the paper under consideration saying? It is a paper that has come from an office by an official. He is asking for relaxation of cooling off period for forwarding the application for official to for the deputation. You know that to consider a deputation to another office or another circle or another state or whatever it is, another government or another department, there will be a cooling off period. That means if an official has gone for 1 year on deputation, he can be extended for another period if both departments agrees to. And there is a ruling that if he is still continued for 1 more year, total period comes to 3 years. There is a ruling that there should be a gap of 3 years for considering his deputation again. That is called the cooling period. That means already he has gone on deputation and he wishes to go again for a deputation, and what rule says there is a cooling off period. That means once he has completed certain period of deputation, there should be a gap. That gap is called the cooling off period. That gap will be generally some 3 years or 1 year like that, and he is asking for relaxation of that cooling off period. That means he wants to go immediately without waiting until the cooling off period. So that is called cooling off period. So the official is requesting for waiver of that cooling off period and he wants to go on deputation without waiting for that cooling off period. So let us see what you have to do. First, 2N or the file number is given there, and subject is request for relaxation of cooling off period for forwarding application of the official for deputation post dash regarding, like that you will write, and reference is note at P1N may be perused. That means some already reference was there in the noting that you have to refer. This is regarding the application of the official Sri M for a deputation post who has not completed the cooling off period. Straight away you are mentioning what is the why this paper under consideration has come to the office in the first place itself. And the first line itself, it is very clear. He has not completed the cooling off period and the official worked on deputation at so and so place from so and so to so and so. The official sought relaxation of the cooling off period as well. The second one is the ruling position, as we have seen earlier. As per directorate letter number so and so, a temporary transfer shall be allowed to an official for a maximum period of 3 years. So as I have said, it is for the maximum period of 3 years. In the entire service, in one spell or two spells. So in the entire service, only 3 years is possible for a temporary transfer. However, there shall be minimum gap of 3 years between two spells of temporary transfer. The competent authority for relaxation of the cooling off period is so and so. Facts of the case. Case of the above said official, the official has completed 2 years temporary transfer from so and so to so and so. Now the official is requesting the deputation post. He has not completed the cooling off period, that is the minimum gap of 3 years between two spells of temporary transfer. So that gap is not filled. This is the reason for PUC. You have to write next. The official is requesting for a deputation post since her spouse is working at a place and that she has already availed the number of chances for Rule 38. So there is no other go for him except for asking for a deputation. So that is why, that is the reason for the official for asking such a deputation. Now what is the proposed course of action? Given the position stated above, the application of the official may perhaps be forwarded for relaxation of cooling off period by the competent authority. So it has to be decided by the competent authority who is not in this office. So it has to be forwarded. A draft for approval of forwarding letter is placed at 2C, submitted for kind perusal and orders please. So a draft was prepared for a forwarding letter and that is placed at 2C. That means C is the correspondence portion. And the dealing assistant will sign in full signature and the supervisor will examine the noting and he will appreciate the facts and he will sign and mark it to the next officer concerned. Once that is approved, the draft will be released with the fair copy to the next officer concerned. Okay, this is basically the you will answer in the examination. Okay, this is all about noting portion. Now let us see drafting. A sample question of drafting in IPO examination 2019 is seen here. A fraud of misappropriation of funds in single-handed post office has been detected by you at the time of inspection. You are an inspector post, so a fraud is detected in single-hand post office at the time of inspection. As inspector post, make a report on how the fraud was committed and further course of action. So we will see later this one in the same video. First we will observe what is drafting and how you can make the drafting. First see what are the different types of communications in drafting. In an office you will find there are different types of communications like a letter, DO letter, that is demi-official letter, there will be order, there will be endorsement, there will be some office orders, there will be press notes, there will be press comics, there will be office memorandums and so on. Let us see one by one what is the purpose and content and who will it be addressed to. The purpose of letter is to convey or seek information or views or decisions or give directions. Naturally, it will be the purpose, and it will be addressed to the subordinate office or superior officers or members of public. It can be either way. A demi-official letter is to interchange or communicate opinion or information informally or to receive personal information. So demi-official letter is different from an official letter. It will be in the personal form. In this demi-official letter, you will use I, we, those things you will use. I request you, it will be used. In a letter you will write it is requested to. That is the difference. Basically in a friendly manner you will write the demi-official letter. If you want to know about this one, you just see the I button there. You will know more. There is a video about the demi-official letter. You can access that one. Then it will be addressed to the government, another government officer, not below 1 or 2 levels. So it will be either 1 level or 2 levels above or below. Order. Order is to communicate the financial sanctions or government orders in disciplinary cases and service matters like an appointment order, promotion order, etc. It will be given to the official concerned in disciplinary or service matters. Endorsement means reply to the original letter itself. The original of the original communication, the sender of the original communication will be endorsed. Or sometimes it will be forwarding a copy to another department or office or for information, necessary action and guidance. You will see this normally, and it will be to the officers or sections units within the department. It can be to the other officers, lower officers, and to lower sections or units. Office order. This is to communicate internal administrative decisions. So this will be among the officers and sections within the office. For example, if anyone is more number of dealing assistants are coming late or something, an office order can be issued communicating to the officers and sections. And next one is press note, to give wide publicity to the government decision through the press or radio, etc. It will be addressed, no specific address will be there, and it will be just given handed over to the press. Office memorandum, interdepartmental communication to call for convey information, and it will be naturally to the subordinate officers and employees. These are all the different types of communications, and for these different types of communications a note will be prepared and a rough draft will be prepared. Rough draft letter will be prepared, a rough draft demi-official letter will be prepared, a draft order will be prepared. So based on the decisions of the officer, this will be released. Now let us see the drafting skills for exams in the offices and in offices. File number is important. That should be mentioned in the letter or demi-official letter or an order or any endorsement. This should not be missed out. In examinations purpose, this should not be missed out. An appropriate case mark may be given with the date and location included at the end. I will show you some examples also so that you can understand clearly. You have to mention the file number, date, and appropriate case mark should be given. For example, loss and fraud cases are dealt with the case mark F in divisional offices in Superintendent of Post Offices. So F is the case mark. You may write the same. Now you have to mention the subject, and then what is the subject, what it is asked for in the question if it is an exam. If it is in the office, you have to mention the subject based on the PUC received. From address also should be written as office of so and so, and duly mentioning the department and location. So department of post or location you have to mention, and to address should be mentioned with the pin code so that the letter can go to the destination. Now you have to introduce the letter. As many as some 90 variations or versions of introduction of a draft letter or report. The popular one is this is regarding so and so, this is regarding delay in submission of so and so report. Like that the case may start based on the subject. And subheadings, based on the topic, relevant subheadings may be given neatly underlined with colon added at the end, one that is specifically asked for in the question. If, for example, if it is asked in an examination, then you have to give subheadings and you have to underline them and just give a colon. And you should not forget to mention what it is asked in the question specifically. So in that previous example, you have seen in the draft above, you have asked how the fraud was committed, and recommend the further course of action. You have seen the question, na? In that you have been asked how the fraud was committed and recommend the further course of action. These things you should not forget to mention in the exam. Then conclusion should be given at the end with a mention of the steps taken by you proactively in the report, and also with a request for further instructions or whatever to the subject asked for in the question. Body of the letter should be given in such a fashion that the main essence with the reason, logic, rulings, examples, precedents, report should be covered. Now let us see drafting in examination, only examination point of view. Some tips I will mention here. See, the examination evaluator will be in a hurry, and sometimes you may have to give him opportunity that you know the subject. So you may have to highlight few things. For example, make it italic by slant writing. Suppose you have mentioned some ruling in the department, and it may become unnoticed by the evaluator also at times. What you have to do, it is your responsibility to make it highlighted in the examination. How will you do it? Practice slant writing, slanting towards the right at home for 1 or 2 days, and now you are good to go. Make bold by rewriting. You can also make bold by rewrite on the same line already written to make it so that it is as good as bold, and the evaluator can see what you have written specifically. Use capital letters. If you cannot color it, leave it. You can use capital letters. As I have made it HALCI in the draft, I will show you in the ensuing slide answer to the question given earlier in the IPO 2019, the draft about the fraud case. In that, HALCI was given, and that is in the capitals to draw the attention of the evaluator that you know the subject. If you don't present properly in the examination, and if you don't make the evaluator know that you know something, that is your fault. So you have to do all these things. Use an underline. You always have the liberty to underline those important rulings or menus or examples you would want to draw the attention to. So whenever you want to draw attention, you can use italic, you can make it a bold thing, and you can use capital letters, you can underline. These things are well within your control in the examination, and don't do these things when you are not sure of the ruling position. That will make you unhappy if the evaluator finds that you have done some mistake. So now let us see the question given in 2019 Inspector Post Examination, IPO examination. A fraud of misappropriation of funds in single hand post office has been detected by you at the time of inspection. As Inspector Post, make a report on how fraud was committed and recommend further course of actions. We will write the Department of Posts of India, Officer of Inspector Post, Q Division, Mysore. You can write anything. And this is fraud case, so it should be confidential. That tag you have to give. Then to address Senior Superintendent of Post Offices, Mysore Division, Mysore. Then the number. You are making a drafting of a letter now to the Senior Superintendent of Post Offices. That letter number, date and place and date you should give. Subject is misappropriation of funds in X post office, single-handed post office, as it is given in the letter in the question. There is no reference, so we did not mention it. And straight away we will start the body of the letter. This is regarding the misappropriation of funds in XSO, a single-handed post office. In this regard, it is to submit that the inspection of XSO was carried out on 28/21, for which DLI is so and so. Sri M is working as sub postmaster since DLI. See here you have given the sub-para, so that is subtitle was given, how the fraud came into light. So you will write something there. During the course of annual inspection, few SB passbooks have been obtained from the customers and verified whether the balance in the passbook agrees with the financial balance using command HACLI. It is noticed that balance differs on checking as mentioned, and the sub postmaster has committed SB frauds as detailed below. Second subheading, modus operandi, SPMX SO has accepted total cash of 70,000 from the depositor P. Pallavi towards SB deposits in her post office account in his initials, and impressed date stamp in token of having received the amount from the depositor but failed to credit the same in the passbooks. Details of accounts defrauded. On verification, the following SB account misappropriation has been noticed. SB account, the detail on 4/5/50,000 and 10/6/20,000 was misappropriated, and here you can find that SPM Mr. M has failed to account for the SB deposits as mentioned below, deposited by P. Pallavi in SB account, contravention of rule 31(2)(1)(b)(1) POSB volume 1 second edition. If you are able to remember this number, that's okay. Otherwise, you may have to refer as POSB volume 1. Then the statement of the depositor, then the statement of the SPM. You will write few lines there. I have made it bold here. As seen from the Finacle menu, HACLI, the Finacle ledger, the deposits 50,000 and 20,000 made on so and so date are not credited into account. Long book, SO account, all these things have been written. You may also do that. And during the course of inspection on test check or possibly it is suspected that there is some misappropriation, and he is requesting for issue of orders for detailed password verification of the supposed office. All relevant records have been seized. Recommendation for further course of action. In view of the modus operandi mentioned above, the amount of fraud involved is higher and the further course of action is recommended. It is recommended for change of date stamp, suspension, some amount is involved and he wants to report it to police, or some percent verification he wants to conduct. All these things have been recommended. And conclusion, what is telling? In anticipation of orders from the competent authority, the past work verification is commenced and appropriate steps will be taken to ensure that the loss is recovered. Further instructions are prayed for in this regard. Signed. And here you have to sign and Inspector Post, Q Subdivision and Mysore. So basically you have covered all the points and you have made bold capitals wherever required. You have given the brief rulings here and you have recommended the further course of action and you have concluded in the letter. So this is how you will prepare a draft. Let us see another example that is given in the Inspector Post Exam 2019. It is also draft on regarding drafting. It has been decided to organize a letter writing competition again amongst school children under the program Dhai Akar on the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Draft a letter to principals of schools in your division indicating the importance of letter writing and requesting them to allow their school children to participate in the competition. First you have to understand what is asked for. Here you have to write a letter to principal and you have to mention the importance of letter writing. This should be part of your draft and you have to ask them, allow the school children to participate. These two things should be covered. And this Dhai Akar is important. Those things can also be covered in a line. Now let us see how the draft is prepared. You can see it is given the Government of India, Department of Post, Office of Superintendent of Post Offices, some division is there, and to the principal. Letter writing competition on the occasion, this number was given, subject was given, letter writing competition on occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi regarding. This is regarding conducting of letter writing competition on the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. And see here you are writing, letters are a good way to document and record important events and information. Though email is a popular form of communication nowadays, letters provide a powerful and more formal way to communicate. It is a known fact that all employers, big or small, expect good communication skills from the employees. Without exposure to real formal communication in writing, one cannot learn it with ease. So the children should seize the opportunity to communicate in writing as well apart from speaking. Letter writing comes in handy by developing communication skills effortlessly. Letter writing enhances the communication skills of growing children which reaps benefits in the future. Given the importance of letter writing and to inculcate the habit of letter writing in the school going children, the Department of Post is proposing to conduct letter writing competition on the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi on so and so date at head post office premises under the program Dhai Akar. The eligibility conditions for participation of the program are so and so. So therefore it is requested to allow your school children to participate in the letter writing competition and encourage them to write letters. Sign and Superintendent of Post Offices so and so division. This is how you can draft a letter. So you have covered both aspects. You are requesting to allow them to participate and you have given the importance of letter writing. Now let us see the few questions I have asked in the beginning of this video. Try to answer these questions. You may also write in the comment section also. What ink is to be used by the officer, staff and officers in noting? Is ink different for drafting? Yes. Notes and orders will normally be recorded on note sheets in the notes portion of the file and will be serially numbered. Black or blue ink will be used by all category of staff and officers. Only an officer of level of Joint Secretary of the Government of India and above may use the green or red ink in rare cases. So it should be blue or black ink by all of them. Whether full signature or initially is enough by dealing assistant or officers, you know now the answer. It is the full signature should be made by both of them. Signature of the dealing assistant to be on the left or right, you know it it is on the left. Signature of the officer to be on the left or right, you know it is should be on the right within the margin. How much margin is to be given on the note sheet? One side or two sides or four sides? It is four sides margin should be given. Why? You know, no? It is because to preserve the paper from wear and tear on the sides in future. Note sheet should be typed on both sides or one side. It should be on the both sides based on the instructions given by the Department of Expenditure to reduce the expenditure. If an officer merely appends the signature, does it mean the line of action proposed is agreed to? Yes. If he simply signs the proposed course of action, if he simply signs the notes portion, that means he has agreed for the course of action proposed by the dealing assistant or the intermediate officer concerned. When the file becomes bulky, 150 pages or 100 pages, second volume is opened. You know that. How the serial number of the notes or portion or correspondence portion is given. Whether page number continues for notes portion or correspondence portion. Yes, the notes portion and correspondence portion should be continued from the previous page number. That means if notes portion ends with some 20n, the new notes portion in the second volume should start from 21 and not from 1. And in the correspondence portion, if it is some 150 page, the second file, the correspondence portion in the second file will start with 151 and it should not start afresh with the number 1. It should start with 151 only. Now let us see different styles in noting and notes and drafts. What are the usual mistakes that one commits in preparing the notes or drafts? Here this is a column where you will see the wrong, you will find two different columns. One is wrong and the other one is the right one is the on the right side. That correct one is on the right side. Instead of this wrong one, you may use the right one. First one is informations. Generally people used to write informations. That is not correct. You can write information or pieces of information. Similarly, people tend to use the same in the notings. You can use it. Instead of therein, thereon, you can say in it or on it. Instead of for being, you can use to be. Instead of for doing, you can use to do. And even the dealing assistants used to write these necessary entries, necessary corrections, necessary instructions. This necessary should be used sparingly. Whenever it is required only you should use it. And to kindly state, this is often used, wrongly used word. This can be used like this, kindly to state. And some of them will use the manager will in the circumstances now stated, comma, be requested, like that. This can be conveniently written as in the circumstances now stated, the manager will be requested to. That means whatever it is written in between the two commas can be brought forward and the sentence can be constructed in a cool way. And marginally noted have marginal notes. This is a wrong way. Noted in margin is the correct form. And whenever there is a requirement of statistical information to be furnished in the noting, people they used to do is they write like this. The figure for 2018, 19, 20 were 256, 257 and 348 respectively. There is nothing wrong in it, but the meaning that conveys to the other person will not be definite. Instead of that, you can say the figure for 2018 was 256, that for 2019 was 257 and that for 2020 was 348. And with reference to, with advertence to also is often used words. This can be replaced by this in reply to, as directed in their order dash government directed so and so, like that you can rephrase that one. And as well as also can be replaced with the and. In case that is the wrong way, you can say if. As to whether can be simply stated as whether. And make an application, simply you can write apply. And I am directed to request that you will be so good as to furnish me with information as to whether. Some tend to write like this. This can be corrected as, the correct form is simple way is I am directed to inquire whether. Dispose it of. This is also used very often. This is also used often. This can be dispose it of. Slips have been pasted. Can be replaced by pasted in. Papers have been stitched. Instead of that, you can use stitched together or sewn together. None made an offer. You can write it as no one made an offer. This is known to all. Everyone knows it. This is the correct way to put in place. Is known to all can be written as everyone knows this. There is no use of sending. That can be, the correct form will be, the correct form is it is no use sending, or you can write like this also, there is no use in sending, or you can tell it is no use to send. This is the correct way of drafting the sentence. He was absent in his house. That can be written as he was away, or he was not at home, or was out. My family members. This is often used, but the correct form is members of my family, male members of my family. Make enquiries. You can replace it with enquire. Simple. Under circumstances, instead of that under circumstances, you should write in the circumstances. You are kindly requested to look into the matter personally. This can be written as, will you kindly look into the matter personally? Will you be kind enough to look into the matter personally? Cope up with it. It is cope with it is the correct one. I am well and wish to hear the same from you. This can be written as, I am well and hope you are well. In general, this is written in the letters. Please furnish a copy. Furnish the details. This can be replaced with, please forward or supply a copy. Please forward or supply the details. So in this way, you can correct the wrong formations in noting and drafting. I hope this video is useful to you, and if you like the video, do subscribe to Career Post and click the bell icon. You will be notified with the latest videos. Thank you.